I'm Daryl. Welcome back to my shop. Today we're going to make this domino table. So let's get to it.
The material that I'm going to be using for the domino table are these recycled 2x4s. As you can see, this is a pretty rough piece of material to work with. If you decide to make your domino table out of 2x4s, I strongly recommend that you joint and plane them flat and square before you get started, because these boards are just, wonky. I've already gone ahead and jointed and planed the material that I'm going to use today, but you can see that these are definitely reclaimed material. You can even see the pocket holes, the remnants of the pocket holes that I had used to join these pieces together for the last project that I used them for. I'm going to use this piece of plywood here for the playing area of the top of the domino table. I'm going to cut this to 23.5 inches square to allow for the 1/4 inch dado that I'm going to have around the edge, the border edge of the table. That'll give me a play surface of about 23 inches square. Now that I have the playing surface cut down to size, this is also reclaimed material. What I'm going to do is, the surface is pretty rough, and I want to run this through my drum sander before I cut the dado, because I don't want to cut the dado to fit in its rough state, and then after I sand down the surface, because it's going to require a fair bit of aggressive sanding, then it won't fit in the dado anymore. So I guess that's the next thing. We're going to take this over to the drum sander and sand it down, and then we can get on with cutting the dados. I've sanded the playing surface down to 180 grit. There's still a few little imperfections in the surface, but this project is just a proof of concept, so we're going to go with that. And now that I have it sanded, I'm going to go ahead and cut the dados and the frame piece for the playing surface. Now that I have all my dados cut, I need to go over to the routing table and profile the edges. now that I got all my pieces cut and dados in place, and I have test fitted the fitment of the play surface, I'm going to go ahead and take this time to sand these inside edges because they'll be very difficult to do so after the fact. So I'll go ahead and sand those, and then I'll go ahead and put the play surface together, and then I can start working on the outer area that holds the dominoes and the cups and things like that. So. Now that we have all the parts and pieces for the playing surface, the raised area, I'm going to go ahead and make that up as a sub-assembly, and that way we'll be able to cut the surrounding surface for the dominoes and the domino holders and the cup holders and things like that. We'll have a definite dimension to work around, so I can fit those pieces to the raised desktop, which is a lot better than going off of measurements, because if you're off a little bit, you could magnify that error, by a lot, and then your joints won't fit tightly. So I'm going to go ahead and do this assembly now. I'm going to glue and brad nail these parts together. Alright, so we now have our game surface, and we can proceed to go ahead and make the pieces that will go around the outside.